David and I, and Matthias, who's here tonight, he's filming. We did a video in LA for Team Andro. Went crazy viral, which opened the doors for my brand to work again. Pretty soon I'm getting offers to go and teach all around the world, and I'm telling my boss, look, I gotta leave for a month to go do some seminars. Like, what? You can't. Who leaves for a month? Their corporate position. But it started opening up to where I said, God, I could go back to bodybuilding as a teacher and do seminars all over again and get involved in other projects and really give back to the sport that given me so much. Bodybuilding gave me a life. I'd be some homeless guy in Detroit if it wasn't for bodybuilding. It gave me a life. So right now, it's not about the money. I don't care about the money. It's not about gaining position as a bodybuilding player in the business. It's about just giving back to something that really gave me a lot, gave me a life. And that's the reason I'm here. I'm 62 years old. I'll be 63 soon. By the time I'm 70, I'm not going to be doing this. I don't see myself traveling, 4 different countries a week. No, but we're doing it now. And it's exciting, it's fun, it's hard, but I like being uncomfortable. Another thing that Squat Rack taught me is when you're uncomfortable is when you grow.
Heute ist Beintag. Meine Beine werden ja sehr oft kritisiert und mache mir viel Gedanken, wie ich jetzt meine Beine auf Vordermann kriegen kann. Der Albert hat mich in Prag da ziemlich eingenordet. Die Haxen müssen wachsen. Ich denke immer eigentlich, ich habe schon hart Beine trainiert, aber ja, vielleicht bräuchte ich einfach mal jemanden, der mir da noch ein paar Tricks zeigt und der sich halt wirklich mit Beintraining auskennt. So.
My name is Tom Platz, and I know a little bit about leg training. They have ice skating shoes, right? Lifting shoes are more important than bodybuilders think. I mean, if you ice skate, you have ice skating shoes. If you go out and ride the bike, like, long distance, what do they call it, cycling, you have racing shoes, you have bicycling shoes. Anything you do in life, you have shoes to accommodate. Bodybuilders just make the mistake. They go, well, I just squat in my tennis shoes. Big mistake, big problem. Okay, so lifting shoes are very important. I'm going to suggest you get some good shoes.
What makes a lifting shoe a lifting shoe?
Well, a lifting shoe has a little heel. Now, a person like you that's taller, than most people, you need a little loft. It's like you need a little loft. Okay, if you squat flat-footed, it goes here to the butt. And the idea is not to make the butt grow unless you're a fitness girl or you're a power lifter. It's about butt and lower back. It's about the legs. And to me, the way you start squatting is you have the right shoes. When I was a little boy, the lifters said to me, gold medal Olympic lifters, Norbert Szymanski said, young man, get yourself a pair of shoes. Until then, I won't talk to you. I swear to God. So now, 40 years later, I'm telling you the same thing. Okay. Now these are hack squat shoes. Hack squat shoes should be flat, like skateboard shoes. In fact, they are skateboard shoes, Vans. They make them for skateboard guys, right? Flat, totally flat, no loft, no heel whatsoever. Okay. And when you do the hack squats, it floors you to put the legs into it versus the back and versus other body parts. But hack squat shoes should be totally flat, almost like barefoot, but yet a little bit of rubber. Doing calves, you should use shoes like this. These are perfect shoes for calves. I would never, ever be caught dead doing squats in these. It'd be the kiss of death. Okay? But flat shoes are most important for hack squats.
Okay. Because in Germany, I wouldn't know where to get those. Also ich weiß, in Deutschland sieht man sehr, 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 sehr selten Leute trainieren mit solchen Schuhen. Ich wüsste auch jetzt überhaupt keine Adresse, gar keine Möglichkeit, keine Marke, wo man die herbekommt. Also es gibt von Adidas Gewichtheberschuhe natürlich.
Ja, ich glaube, die gibt es auch nicht mehr so.
Doch, da gibt es noch so 1, 2 Modelle gibt es halt, aber habe ich mich auch nie mit beschäftigt, geschweige denn, dass man die irgendwo mal anprobieren könnte oder so. Aber naja, man wird sich jetzt drum kümmern.
They have lifting boots with higher, go higher on the ankle, which is a mistake. You don't want to. It's not like army boots, where you, because then it definitely limits ankle flexibility.
Yeah.
You want to enhance ankle flexibility. They have these kind of shoes with no ankle support as well. You don't want that either. Okay. With the advent of CrossFit, everybody wears good shoes, or they should wear good shoes, and it's popularizing Olympic lifting again. But Olympic lifting is where I started. I was taught by Olympic lifters when I was a little boy, and you've got to have good shoes. It's very, very, very important. People don't know that, but it's very important when you wear high socks. People don't understand this, but when a guy like you wears high socks and you look in the mirror when you're ready to approach the bar and put the bar on your back, in your mind, you look shorter. And if you feel shorter, it's easier to squat 500 for reps because you're shorter, okay? These are the little mental tricks that I'm going to tell you about that nobody else knows about. That's the reason the rest of the community is lacking in terms of what they have. And even if they do have big legs, they don't have your package, okay? And that's why I'm here.
Thanks.
All right.
Also, wir haben gerade festgestellt, Tom sagt, normalerweise würde er längere Socken anziehen, wenn er selber trainiert. Und ich habe mir das auch angewöhnt. Deshalb habe ich sogar die richtigen Socken schon an. Ich habe sie immer angezogen, weil es sich gut anfühlt einfach. Es gibt dann irgendwie so eine, natürlich nicht wirklich, aber eine gefühlte Stabilität. Und außerdem sind die Knöchel und alles schön warm. Und er sagt, der Effekt ist halt auch ein psychologischer, dass die Beine kürzer aussehen und dass man im Kopf sich fühlt, als hätte man einen besseren Hebel. Und der Weg sieht kürzer aus. Und deshalb kann man auch eher 500 for Reps squatten. Weil man mental, ja, das sind so wirklich Kleinigkeiten, aber kann man drüber lächeln, aber das macht dann halt das 1-2% Unterschied. Ne? Und auf die Dauer summiert sich sowas dann.
Before they squat, they bang their feet. They have the vibration, those power plates, those vibrations.
Ich kann mir vorstellen, was demnächst in den McFits in Deutschland abgeht. Da werden sich wahrscheinlich die Mieter unterhalb beschweren. I said I can imagine what's happening in gyms now in Germany.
Yeah, no, you've got to go in and before you pound your feet because it creates vibrations and it wakes up the motor pathways and the motor units. And it's just a warm-up and a mental cue to demand excellence from your body. Okay, and these are things that bodybuilders don't do, that they forgot about. They're most important. Okay, and it's important that I set you up to be the purveyor of all this because otherwise it'll be lost forever. As Joel Gold said, if I don't tell anybody about the old days, people won't know. The future generations won't know. And so you're the guy. You have to carry, what's the word, pass the torch. You have to carry it to the legacy. Somebody's got to do it, okay?
Demand excellence. I like that saying, yeah.
Even more esoteric. This bar is like my pool cue. It's my private bar that I keep here. It's like when you go to a pool hall, you bring out you bring your own pool cue. When I go to squat, I have my own bar. It's slightly bent. It's not perfectly straight because when you put it on your back, it doesn't roll. It sits on your shoulders very nicely. It's the perfect thing for high bar squats. We don't want to do low bar squats. We don't want to do powerlifting, power squats. This is bodybuilding 101. This is not powerlifting. Okay, powerlifting is like comparing soccer to baseball. Baseball is baseball. Powerlifting is powerlifting. This is bodybuilding. Okay, guys, people make this mistake all the time, and it is starting to disturb me.
Stellt sich die Frage, wie kriegt man eine Stange gebogen?
You see, it's a little bit bent.
Yes.
I put the bar on the bench.
I just said that in German. Now I have the question: how did you get it bent?
I put
a lot of weight.
500 pounds on it. I put it on a bench press, and I put it on the pad where you lay on the actual, and I bounced it
you did?
Up and down. I bounced it by myself until it started to bend. And I bent it too much.
That's something else German gym owners won't like when they see the video. Okay.
A lot of modern day bars, they don't bend.
What do you think about safety bars?
the whole idea. The safety bar is a nice idea, but it's not this.
Okay.
To accommodate this and to learn for this. With the safety bar, you hang on to something. The whole idea of a bar, a free bar, is you're out by yourself. Just you and the bar. You could fall, and more muscles are innervated because of the fact that you're by yourself in the air. And it's just you and no help. Not the help of your hand, not the help of a special bar. It's just you out there doing it yourself. You have to grow. If you set yourself up this way, there's no choice but to grow. People ask about squats, they wonder about this, and nowadays in fact I said this on Facebook yesterday, there's too many gym gurus, everybody spends too much time in the gym talking about it, and they should spend more time on stage.
Yeah.
You know? It's simple. It's very simple. And if you make it simple, it's more readily achievable. Okay? And I'm going to show you some of just a few of the techniques that will make your legs crazy. That Albert Busick will genuflect in front of you. Okay? All right. Okay, Albert. Basically, no, yes. No, yes. No, yes. So here we go. Bam. Bam. That's the purity. That's the purity. This is the altar. This is where life and death takes place. This is where you genuflect, and your life should pass in front of your eyes. I mean that sincerely. If your life doesn't pass in front of your eyes at least once a week, might as well go get it into another sport. Okay? In fact, this is a separate sport. Squatting is a separate sport from bodybuilding. The sport of squatting is what it should be like. Okay? I mean that. It's almost like, people gather around and they get crazy. It's a perfect thing for Germany. Because Germany is where I did many, many seminars, and people understand this. They get it there. Yeah. They have the heart for this. Other countries, I wouldn't say that. No, you know what I'm saying? But Germany, that's where my ancestors, my grandmother came from Austria, and that's where I learned about work ethic and attitude. Okay? So, basically, the setup, you probably a little bit wider, but the setup, toes should be out, not straight. If my toes are straight, it leads to this. It's not CrossFit. This is not CrossFit. Okay? Forget about that. Whatever you learn in CrossFit, forget about it. Shoulder width stance. Flat on my heels. My heels don't come up. My knees are above my toes. And I'm pushing with my legs, not my back. In other words, this is the way people usually squat is this. This is what they usually do. I'm encouraging you to do this. And I learned that from Norbert Szymanski, That's the same thing.
Also ich weiß nicht, ob man das auf dem Video so sieht. Wenn er seine Kniebeuge macht, wie sie aussehen soll, das sieht aus wie er sagt, das sieht aus wie ein Kolben im Zylinder, ja. Das wie aus einem Guss. Und was er eben gemacht hat, was viele machen so irgendwie, das sieht ja wirklich aus wie 2, 3 verschiedene Übungen gemixt, ne? Du siehst es wahrscheinlich auch. Ja. Also falls es auf der Kamera nicht ganz rüberkommt, das ist wirklich ein Riesenunterschied, was er jetzt gezeigt hat.
When you put the bar low on the back, okay, there's a reason powerlifters do this. When you put the bar lower on the back, it brings the bar closer to the fulcrum. And it brings the buttocks and the lower back into play. In fact, most powerlifters have big, thick muscles back here and tiny legs. Because the legs are just lever arms for these muscles. We want to basically get these muscles out of it and put the stress here. Okay, so if I was a powerlifter, I'd lower the bar and be like, that would be the movement. Yeah. It's not about getting on your heels. It's about using the legs as the prime mover. The prime mover should be the quadriceps.
So is there a reason you do it like that? Because, a flat butt doesn't look very good on a bodybuilder too. But if you have a smaller butt, your legs may look bigger.
Your butt will grow as a side effect.
Yeah.
As a side effect to doing this correctly, your buttocks will grow. Okay, and your hamstrings will grow if you do it this way too. Believe it or not, hamstrings grow. In fact, everything grows. This is like a foundational movement. This is the altar for bodybuilding. This is your church. Bodybuilders who don't do this. Look at the old pictures of Arnold, Dave Draper. The guys that you remind me of did this.
Yes.
When I was 10 years old and 9 years old looking at Muscle Builder and Power that Joe Weider put out, this is what they did.
Yes.
Even Frank Zane. Frank Zane did 405 for 10 reps. Okay?
Okay.
Granted, he doesn't squat now. Granted, Phil Heath probably doesn't squat now, but they did. They did, and they paid their dues here. By skipping this, you'll be a also ran bodybuilder, a guy that could have, should have, and didn't. But the reason you're here is to study with the old days. I've studied with the masters. My job is to take what I've learned from the masters and say, here you go. This is the answer. This is the secret that the majority of the bodybuilding community is looking for and searching for.
Ja.
Okay?
Also hier kriegt ihr echt Material für die Ewigkeit präsentiert. Ja? Also er hat es jetzt schon ein paar Mal gesagt, das sind wirklich Geheimnisse, die er von olympischen Gewichthebern, Goldmedaillisten, Joe Weider persönlich, und also das kommt von ganz oben, was wir hier hören, und das hat er wohl auch noch nicht so oft wirklich weitergegeben und schon gar nicht irgendwie tapen lassen. Ganz kurz nochmal zu den ganzen Fragen, die wir immer bekommen mit Pitfalls und dieses Training, welcher Split. Also ihr seht jetzt hier, allein mit der Kniebeuge kann man sich schon mal richtig beschäftigen, bevor man sich jetzt groß Gedanken macht, ob über irgendwelche wissenschaftlichen, neumodischen Trainingssysteme, erstmal die Basics auf die Reihe kriegen. Das ist auch das, was ich immer sage. Ne? Also erstmal eine Kniebeuge richtig machen, bevor man sich halt Gedanken macht, ob man da irgendwelche Spezialtechniken, Spezialprogramme einsetzen muss.
When I see that towel, I put the towel on the bar and roll the towel on the bar, you know? It's like every great workout. There's almost crazy reps I did with the same towel. It's a cue. It's a cue to take me there.
Okay.
Mental cue. Okay. Spiritual cue. You know, when I see the towel, when I see the bar, put the shoes on, I cannot fail. I cannot. There's no option.
So those rituals are important.
Pardon me, the shoes, belt, the special bar, the towel, all the cues that put you into that special place, that zone.
The funny thing is, I used to sometimes listen to Sexual Healing when I did legs. And the reason why I did this is because you used it in '84, right?
Yeah.
For your posing routine.
New York.
So it's not, it's not a classic like hard rock or metal song you would listen to when you train legs, but the memory I connect with that's the reason why. Also ich benutze manchmal, trainiere ich mit Sexual Healing von Marvin Gaye, was ein geiles Lied ist, davon mal abgesehen, aber es ist eigentlich nicht unbedingt das, was man erwarten würde für ein ultra hartes Hardcore-Beintraining. Aber ich denke dabei halt immer an Tom Platz, wie er 1984 bei Mr. Olympia aufgetreten ist, da hat er das als Posing-Lied benutzt. Und so ähnlich ist das, was er gerade erklärt hat mit dem Handtuch. Er hat seit den 70ern oder so, wickelt er halt ein Handtuch, ein bestimmtes Handtuch um die Stange, und wenn er das drum wickelt, dann erinnert er sich immer an die ganzen guten Workouts, die er damit hatte. Und das sind dann diese ganzen Rituale, die einen halt in das Mindset, jetzt fange ich schon an, nach deutschen Wörtern zu suchen, ja, die einen halt in die Laune bringen fürs Beintraining und dann in die Laune bringen, Höchstleistungen abzuliefern.
Initially an artist paints by the numbers when they paint a picture, right? A beginner artist, a kindergarten, a young little boy in kindergarten, you know, has a number. They paint, okay, blue is for 1, red is for 2, and they paint by the numbers. That's beginning bodybuilding. They sets and reps, and they train by the numbers. An advanced bodybuilder expresses themselves from within. It's from innate creation that affects your body, like you were just saying. It's about the emotion, the way you feel, the music, the towel, the bar, the shoes. You create it, and your energy changes the body. It's not just about the gear or whatever you're taking. It's about that. That's what people forgot about. Take the energy from the earth, put it into your body. Stimulate the nerve endings, the nerves. Just stamp hard. This creates some energy that pushes up through your body. Not bad for a tall guy. Very nice.
That's good.
Use your legs. Yes. Yes. Nice. No wonder you have good legs. Perfect. Good. Maybe a little more width. What's happening? If you're doing it really well, just a little bit of this, a little bit of tilt. by taking a little bit wider, be a little bit less back involved. I'm trying to accommodate your hip structure, the ball and socket and all that stuff. You're an athlete. Most athletes have, good flexibility. You have ankle flexibility. You have joint flexibility for sure. And you're going to want to do things a certain way. It's like swinging a golf club. You're going to want to do it the way that's probably wrong, that feels right. I want to teach you to do it the way it should be done to give you the best results. And by a little bit wider stance, a little wider than me, because you're a wider guy, you're a bigger guy, will enable you to have less buttocks, less lower back, and more leg development. The idea is to innervate the quadriceps, okay, and make it about pushing the quadriceps, not about pushing. When you get tired, you start using your back. I want to make it so it's almost impossible to use your back to where you just use your legs.
Do you believe in changing foot position?
No.
No.
Forget all this.
What do you say if somebody says I want to target on the outer side or on the teardrop or?
Well, now we can talk about hack squats.
Okay.
Hack squats, yeah. Now this and hack squats is all you need. Leg presses I did for pictures and photographs. Lunges I did for pictures with girls. Okay, when we were like in the old days. If you want to get big legs, you got to squat and you got to do hack squats.
And then that's every angle and everything you need.
The thing about hack squats, we have to work with that. You have to work with the athlete. But I would squat more like this, my heels together like a duck, where the vastus lateralis is the predominant muscle of innervation. This muscle's on the side, the teardrop muscle. You cannot change the shape of a muscle. It's impossible to change the shape of a muscle, which disturbs bodybuilding, because bodybuilders think you can change the shape of a muscle. What you can do is isolate a certain head of the muscle.
Yes.
The reason they call it the quadriceps because there's 4 different heads.
Right.
You can isolate the vastus lateralis by standing like a duck and make this muscle the prime mover at the expense of the other 4 muscles.
So the duck stance is for the lateralis?
Yes.
Okay.
It takes some work because of your structure, and we'll have to go to hack squats. This is an in-depth analysis of mechanics, kinesiological function, and anatomy, and structural situations, of course. But these are the kind of things that have to be done.
So
and
let's get back to the classic squat. So you do it always all the way down, full range of motion?
Yes, but I would say at least parallel. Not everybody has super flexibility.
Okay.
At least parallel, preferably below, if in fact you have that. Probably most people won't. Parallel is probably good.
Okay.
But below parallel, if you possess certain traits which I think you possess, which is rare for a tall, big man to possess flexibility. In other words, Ferrigno and Arnold had the same thing, just like you.
Okay.
Okay? Get that.
So squats all the way down, and then it's like all the heads are like...
Everything's worked.
It's equally?
Yes.
To all the heads?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I wouldn't vary the squat, the position. I would find probably a closer stance than you like. Not too wide, not sumo style. For you, a little bit wider than me. Okay? Because your structure. And maybe on the heavy stuff, a little bit wider, but then on the lighter stuff, when you lower the weight and do reps, bring it in just a little bit to put it right on here, so you won't have to be so light. Like when you go to 405, go down to 300, bring the stance in slightly to accommodate this. Possible, but never really too much stance variation. No, slower. Okay. Nice. Keep going. 3, 4, 5. Give me 5 more. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. 4 and 5. Excellent. Good. Okay, perfect. What's the Italian? Magnifique. Oh, beautiful.
That would be French, I guess.
What's French? What's Italian? What people don't do enough of. They don't really explore reps enough. Reps are really important. Reps are important for red fiber development. You've got to train the white fiber and the red fiber. Some days you'll do a lot of reps, some days you do the heavy weights, right? You got to do both. For red fiber development, reps are important. Mitochondria development. You actually develop more mitochondria within the tissue, within the muscle. Mitochondria is where ATP is synthesized, is manufactured, energy substrate. It builds the sarcoplasm. Reps build the sarcoplasm, the fluid-like substance which the muscle bathes in. Reps increase capillary development, to name a few things. Well, reps are very, very important.
So what are reps for you?
Oh, at least 15.
15,
At least. And in advanced stages, I mean, you should be able to do 50s and 60s, okay? For sure.
So that's where it gets really ugly.
Oh, yeah. And if you do 50 reps to failure, before your life passes in front of your eyes, maybe do 2 sets. You warm up, of course. Go up to a weight, do a set, go down to a nice lighter weight and do a set. That, to me, is very important. Also, though, the heavy day where you do your doubles, your 2s and your 3s, and your 6s and 8s. Low reps are very important for white fiber development. You got to do both, okay? And that's the secret. That's the one thing people don't think enough about as far as the reps one day and the heavy weights one day. Now, furthermore, on your point about maintaining the same, like pretending that it's the same weight no matter what, that's very important, yes. But when you push a weight faster, when you achieve acceleration, the bar goes fast. You don't go real fast and hurt your back at the top on squats, but it's called compensatory acceleration, where lightweight motor pathway in your nervous system wise, your brain feels like, and your body feels like it's a heavier weight. The faster you can push it. So 500 pounds pushing fast is like 1,000 pounds pushing it slow. So you don't have to use the heavy weights. You can use lighter weights and take less risk. This is another thing people don't talk about anymore. This is what I learned. This is what I learned. Is
so since you said my squat technique is okay, or even good, or perfect, so
yeah.
I think this is the more interesting stuff for me now. What you're telling now. Yeah. So you say you should do heavy days and rep days.
Yeah.
Separate days.
Yes.
Not within one workout.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You could, but one's going to suffer. Okay. I have to work with you now a little bit, but this is something we over time we could or should do. Red fiber guys, your fiber type, just by looking at you, the way you walk and the way you train now, you're more red fiber. You recover faster. You could probably handle squatting once a week or maybe twice a week. For me, at the height of my career, twice a month. 1 day a month heavy, 1 day a month reps. That was it. Because I was mostly red, I'm mostly white fiber.
You did legs 2 times a month?
That's it. I tried training with Arnold twice a day, 6 days a week. I got small and fat. Okay? There's no way I could train.
He really did that, like
twice a day, 6 days a week.
6 days a week, the whole body 3 times a week.
Yeah. He really did that. And there's no way I could handle that. My body, my muscle fiber type could not handle it. You could handle it. I could see it in you. Okay? You have that, no wonder, you have that sweeping lines, that big look that Albert Busic's going to go, oh, yes, that's what Albert Busic wants, that's what I want. We all want that for you. Okay? And you're the guy. You're the guy to take it forward. The thing is, what Arnold did with Draper for a while, I was a 9-year-old, 10-year-old kid at the time. It was like you in 1980 with me. I watched through the magazines and I listened to what they were doing. There was no videotape back then.
No YouTube.
No YouTube. No internet.
Yeah.
But the magazine came out and I watched. I read every word at least 10 times. You know. And in the off season, Arnold and Draper would train, and Zane would train on the squat. And they weren't worried about staying pretty. They would eat more, and they would get a little bit wasty, which is okay. You know, in the off, you have to get out of shape in order to get in shape. And that's where I think you have to go. You have to get a little bit out of shape in the off-season, like you were when you were in Florida with us. A little bit out of shape with that kind of technique, to where you increase the volume of the thigh. You can pretty soon you can't wear jeans anymore, and you have to wear sweats and go to the tailor all the time. And then when you do get in shape, what's the leftover is what you see. And I think you can do more of that. That's what you need to do more of. The technique, from what I see here, we've only done a lightweight, is like, yeah, I don't know that word, that Italian word. But yeah, if you can maintain that and translate and get into hack squats as well, and leg curls in the off season, mission accomplished. From there, before a show, leg extensions and all that and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. But forget about leg extensions. Nobody gets big legs from leg extensions.
Yeah, that's my impression too.
Yeah. Nobody gets big arms from doing cable curls.
Yeah.
Nobody gets big chest from doing cable crossovers. It's all about the bench press and the big dumbbell incline press, right?
Yeah.
Same thing here.
Yeah.
And I think legs is hard. That's why it's a separate sport in my mind. It's hard. I mean, it's going to take you, it's going to mess your nervous system up to the point to where you wonder why you wanted to go into the sport in the first place. It's hard. It's downright, it will annihilate you. It will take you it will show you that you're nothing but then you push through it, you survive, and you deserve the legs you get from that. It's hard. It's hard to squat. Believe me, people think I used to like to squat. I like the feeling afterwards of doing it.
The accomplishment.
Oh, the accomplishment. But so many times when I did 50 reps, at 25 I was done. At 35, I can't believe I did 35. At 45, God was doing it for me. At 50, I was just in a different world. And that's what you got to do. Your breath has got to get hard. You can't talk. Everything's hurting. You can't breathe. You take the belt off and you have to almost fall on the floor. That's one set. This is stuff that Olympic, you have the chalk, put the chalk on the bar, the smell of it. It's like how do you say in war, the napalm in the morning? I love the smell of the napalm in the morning before war, before killing, before, you know? This is the smell. This bar and the chalk and the smell of sweat.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of it. I used to have, the hands would bleed and the chalk and the blood. And they invented this word brutal. That's what we did in the 1970s. That's what it was about. It wasn't pretty. It was about the spirit soaring, you know, and just the attitude. The rest of the workout week would be nothing. Arms and chest, nothing, because this will set you up for success.
Das war unser Rückblick auf das Training mit Tom Platz im Jahr 2014. Wenn ihr das komplette Video sehen wollt, das sind fast 2 Stunden, dann schaut auf Team Antro, der Link ist in der Videobeschreibung. Das ist übrigens das Video, wie ihr gesehen habt, was für Tom Platz so den Comeback fast schon, kann man sagen, bedeutet hat. Also ich bin relativ stolz, dass ich da mitwirken konnte. Und wie immer gerne das Video teilen, liken, den Kanal abonnieren, wenn es euch gefallen hat. Und schaut gerne mal bei Fitmart vorbei, da gibt es wieder eine gute Aktion, könnt ihr ordentlich sparen und Videoprojekte wie dieses oder auch künftige neues Material mit unterstützen. Also schaut mal vorbei und ansonsten bis dahin guten Punkt.